This MACD strategy we are about to show you is one of the best and easiest strategies for beginners. It's very easy to use. It works in almost every market, and most importantly, it makes money. The MACD uses moving averages to find trends in the market. But now comes the fun part. We will be using it to find reversals in the trend. In a very smart way. We'll be combining it with liquidity. Make sure to watch this video till the end because not only will you learn how to master this strategy, but you will also learn how to analyze the markets in a very professional way. Before we start, we need to add a few things to our charts. First, add the MACD indicator to your chart. Go to TradingView and click on the Indicators tab. Then type in MACD. And click on this indicator. Go to Settings of the MACD, go to Style, and uncheck the MACD and the signal line. We will be only using the histogram for our strategy. Second, add session breaks to your chart. Right-click on the chart, select Events, and check the Session Breaks box. This feature will separate the price to each day. I will explain in a minute why this is useful. The last thing we need is to identify the Asia session. We can do this by selecting the Indicators tab and search for this indicator. The Asia session will be marked on our chart in the form of a rectangle so we can identify it easily. Now that we have everything set up, here is a small breakdown of the strategy and how we will be profiting from this strategy. In a nutshell, we will be using liquidity points to anticipate a reversal and confirm with the MACD that we have a valid setup. After this, we will be hunting for our entry, but only after price action shows us the direction of the price. Let me break this down for you in a very easy way. First, we need to understand where the liquidity is. In other words, where are the most orders in the market? Usually we will find them above and below previous day's highs and lows or around session highs and lows. Let me give you an example. As you can see, we can easily identify our previous day's low because we have our session breaks on the chart. We can also see that our Asia lows are very near that level, so we can even use this as a confluence. Let me give you another example to make it even more clear. Let's mark our previous day's high here. All we want to see is for price to move in small waves to our level, just like this. And here it is, a big spike to the upside and an instant breakdown with a consecutive down candle. Now that we've established our liquidity level and we see price do what we need it to do, let's see what the MACD is doing. Let's go back to our first example. What we are looking for in this scenario is for price to wipe out the Asia low and the previous day's low before we start hunting for our setup. When this happens and we see small waves, like this, approaching our level, and the MACD shows a divergence. Then get ready. Here is how to measure this sort of price movement and how to spot a divergence. If you take a look at the chart, you can see that when price breaks the previous day's lows, it kind of stagnates and has a difficult time moving lower. When we see this, we pay very close attention to the MACD histogram and look for a divergence. To spot the divergence, we take a look at our last low and our current low on the chart and the lows on the MACD. Then we compare the high on our chart with the high on the MACD. Do you see the difference? This is called divergence. And now we have MACD confirming our setup. Right now, we have completed our second step. For our final step, we need price action to confirm our setup. This means that we need to see a break of structure. In this example, price needs to take out our previous high in our current leg. So it means we need to take out this high in order to move forward and look for an entry. As we can see, price does just that, which is great. This makes a great opportunity to go and hunt for an entry. Let's take a look at another example. We can see a liquidity wipeout and break of structure of our previous low in our current leg. Just right here. This is the same pattern in both the examples. Now let's go and find our entry. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I have a full price action strategy where I show you my personal game plan and how I trade the markets consistently. You will also find which broker I use. You can find it in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Speaking of entries, I will show you several ways on how to enter this type of setup. You can test the entry types that I will show you on your own to see which one matches your style of trading. Let's start with our first example. Once we see price breaking this high, we want to mark this on our chart. And we can do two things. We can enter on the breakout candle, which we can see right here. Our entry would be on the close of this candle, and our stop loss will be at the point that broke the structure. Another way to enter this trade is to wait for a 50% Fibonacci pullback. Go to the side menu and click here. Select this option. I will place my cursor at this low, and I drag it to this high. The 50% will be right here on this level. So this is where my entry will be. This entry will give you a smaller stop loss, and you will have much more upside for the trade. I can guarantee you this is an amazing entry for the trade, and I personally use it all the time because of the amazing results. Ideally, before we place our order, we already have an idea on where to exit our trade. This can be done on the most significant market structure points, such as previous highs or lows. What you need to know in terms of time frames. If you don't see a divergence on the 5-minute chart, you can always go up to the 15-minute chart or even higher. This works on all time frames. However, I found it to be very effective on the 5 to 15-minute time frames because I am a day trader myself. What I have also found is that there is no need to keep the risk to reward ratio the same for each trade, but rather have a solid level where you can exit. And if the momentum is with you, most of the time you will reach take profit. I hope you guys have learned a lot, but I strongly advise to test this on a demo account first, or backtest this before you go into live markets. If you've enjoyed this video, if you did, please give a like and subscribe.